let's do a walkthrough of how to complete one. Your first assignment will be the content page called Studying the Universe. So before we start reading and taking notes, let's first set it up. We want to put the date. It is September something, some year. I'm going to reuse this video, so I'll leave it like that. But you should write the date of today while you're watching this video. And now the title. So we have Studying the Universe. Cool. Now I'm going to set up my vocab section. I'm going to put vocab over here on the left. And I'm going to make my add-on section. So I'm lining it up with the line there. Just in case I need to add anything later on, especially when I go over in class. So studying the universe. So now I'm going to put the key idea. I like to make this big. Key idea. I'm going to write this word for word. Scientists and astronomers can study different aspects of the universe. Scientists and astronomers can study different aspects of the universe. It's huge. I'm writing in all capitals. Its makeup. How its makeup. The universe. Its makeup and its history. By using various devices for gathering data. All right, are there any words I don't know in there? Well, if you don't know what scientist or astronomer means, you could add it over here. Astronomer, I'm going to look that up later. Makes up history, gathering data. I don't know what data is, so I'm going to write that here too. Okay, so that is our key idea. Boom. So now, let's think about that. What did we just read and write? Scientists and astronomers can study different aspects of the universe, its makeup, and its history by using various devices for gathering data. That's easy, right? Scientists learn about the universe. I already know a couple ways off the top of my head. Think about the material as you're working with it. Don't just passively write things and not think about it. This stuff's actually kind of easy. I know that they use telescopes. So let's read. Studying the universe. Well, that's going to be my first topic here. So I'm going to put studying the universe. People have studied the universe for millennia. If you don't know that word, I'd add it over there. Millennia. To begin with, people studied the sky visually using only their eyes and noting how the stars, moon, and sun moved across the sky. Accurate study and mapping of the stars and sun helped people keep track of seasons and important, usually religious events. With the beginning of the Renaissance in Western Europe, studying stars became more academic and accurate as instrumentation became more advanced. So, what do I get from that? Well, it does say that people have been studying for a long time. We obviously know that. We don't have to write that down. Every time people look up at the sky, since cavemen, people have been wondering what's been going on up there. So first humans studied the sky visually. What does that mean? I would add a little subnote here. With their eyes. What does visually mean? So we were only able to look at it with our eyes. I'm guessing that people just looked up. And we noted how the stars, moon, and the sun moved across the sky. We could keep track of the seasons and religious events. All right, so we can add that. Allowed keeping track of seasons. Seasons/holidays, religious events, things like that. All right, cool. So first we studied it with just our eyeballs. Then it tells us that when the Renaissance happened in Western Europe, if you don't know what that is, I would add it here. Renaissance. Studying stars became more academic and accurate because we had better instruments. So, during the Renaissance, I would write, we started making better instrumentation. I like the word tools to see and study the stars. All right, easy. First topic done, studying the stars. So think about what that said. We were only able to look at it with our eyes, and then during the Renaissance, it started to become more popular and academic because we made tools that let us look further and more clearly. So now it's going to go through a bunch of things about the innovations. So what I would do is, first I get a general idea. So it's going to talk about a couple devices. So I would like to call this section the timeline of new, this is technically, it's technology, of new tools / technology. All right. Now let's start reading. All right, the first one, simple device is the Tycho Brahe quadrant. It looks like this. It looks pretty crazy. Allowed accurate measurement of the angle of stars and planets above the horizon. He produced an enormous amount of data on the movements and positions of stars and planets, which was later used by Johannes Kepler to develop the laws of planetary motion. So I want to do this like this. I'm going to put big one. So first it was Tycho Brahe. And he made the quadrant. That let us do angle of stars above the horizon. I guess you couldn't see below the horizon. So also what I would do is I'd put this, I'm going to put Tycho Brahe's quadrant over here, because I should know what that is. If you don't know what the horizon is, I would add horizon 2. So what came next? Right, that was first. Does it give us a date? 1597. So the first one, 1597. Second one, Galileo Galilei used refracting telescope. So the name is Galileo Galilei, refracting telescope. And it gives us a year in 1610. Cool. All right, so what did it do? It looked like this, looks like a telescope. He could view the moons of Jupiter, became the first person to see objects orbiting other planets. He used his observations as part of his argument that the planets orbited the sun instead of the Earth. Okay, so he could see really far away stuff. Jupiter's really far. So the refracting telescope could see further. And Galileo Galilei saw that Earth orbits the sun. At that time, they thought that the Earth was in the middle of the galaxy, of the universe, of the solar system. They thought we were the middle, and that everything orbited around us. So, as you can see, so this video is not very long, I am going through each thing and I'm organizing it in a certain way. You should continue to do this. As you read it first, think about what it says, and then write down the important things. If you have a question for me, call me over. I'm here to help you as you do this. All right? If I did this with everybody at the same time, then everybody would have to be on the exact same page. We would limit how fast people can read or how slow they can read. But do this at your own pace. Take your time with this. If you don't finish it in class, do it for homework. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing for number 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to write those here. Probably get another page, flip it over, and then I'll finish it off with the next section. All right? Then when I'm done, at the very bottom, I'm going to answer questions. I'm going to answer these questions in my notebook. Right? Make sure you answer the questions in the notebook. If you have any more questions about this, just ask me. But before I go, I want to show you an add-on. Let's say in class, we're talking about the refracting telescope. And as I'm showing you pictures of the refracting telescope, we realize that these telescopes, they use lenses. All right, they don't use mirror, they use lenses. So at this point here, I would put fracting telescopes use lenses. That's just a little add-on. Okay? Or let's say that there was some information that we could add to here. First, the humans studied the sky visually with their eyes. I mean, when could they do this? They were only limited, they could only do it at night. So once you're done all the notes and the questions, then you can do add-ons as we go over things in class. All right? If you have questions about how to do this, I'm not going to walk you through every single one, but just ask me.